Okay, so let's take a look at the next example. When I give you 192.168.1.0, and then if this is subnet mask, I'm going to ask you the same question. What is the network address, broadcast address, what is the broadcast address, and what is the last user host IP address, and etc. Right? So let's do this. The example is 192.168.1.0, and the subnet mask is 255.255. Oops. So 255 dot what was it? 255 dot 224. Okay, 224. So 224. But as you can see, this is a 225, 225, 225. So we know that this is going to be all ones, right? All ones, all the way to here. So the first, so that's why the first 3 octets, right? The first 3 octets, we know that this is going to be the part of the network portions, right? So I don't have to reconvert this number to a binary form. But 224, I have to convert this to a binary form, which is what? Which is 11100000. So that's a binary form. So first, let's just write the subnet mask first. 255.255.255, and then the binary number for the 224, which is this. So 11101234. Okay, and I know that the first 3 octet, right, is going to be a network portion, like part of the network portion for sure. I don't have to really convert it into a binary form. 168.1. And this is a 0, right? So I'm going to write 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's just draw the IP table. And then since my 1 ends at this point, I can draw the boundary line where the 1 ends. So I'm going to draw the boundary line. So I know that this is going to be my network portions, and then this is going to be my host portion. Right? So network and host portion. Good. So I'm going to write my first IP address, which is going to be a network address. So 192.168, right? Dot 1.000, right? And then the rest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So my host portion is going to be all 0 in the network address. So this is what? 192.168.1.0. So this is my network address. And my first IP address is 192.168.1.000. There's a dot here, and then there's a dot 1.0.0.0.0.1, which is 192.168.1.1. So this is my first usable host IP address. Right? First usable host IP address. And obviously my next one is 192.168.1.000.000.10, which is 192.168.1.2. So this is my second, the host IP address. Right? And then I can write many IP address, but I want to find out the last IP address, which is a broadcast IP address. So that is going to be 192.168.1 dot and then 000. And you know that for the broadcast address, my host portion is going to be all ones, right? It's filled with all ones. So it's going to be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, right? So my broadcast IP address is 192.168.1 dot, right? 1 dot. And I have to convert this to a decimal number, right? So I know that I'm going to skip this part because I know that you have to convert the binary to decimal. So when I look at the answer is 31, right? As you can see, this is what? This is the 31, right? 31. Okay, so if you convert this binary to the decimal, you will get the 31. I'll just skip this process because you know how to do it. The 31. Okay, so that's the broadcast IP address. Now, so what is the last usable host IP address? Last usable host IP address is what? Broadcast address minus 1, right? So you can see 192.168.1.30, but let's just write it down anyway. 168.1.000.11.110, right? So that's the last usable host IP address. Okay, so now here's my question. What is the number of usable host IP addresses? So first, to find out that, you have to count number of bits used in host portion. So in host portion, you know the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? The 5 bits are used. So the answer is number of usable host IP addresses is what? 2 to the what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5 bits. 2 to the 5 minus 2, because you know that you need to exclude the network address, and you also need to exclude broadcast address. So that's why you get minus 2. Right? Let's check the answer. Yes, 2 to the 5 minus 2, right? Which is 32 minus 2 and 30 host. I mean, for the test of the quiz, this is good enough. You don't have to really compute 2 to the 5. Okay, so that's the end of example number 2. Thank you.